Friends, I want to talk to you today about something that might surprise you. We've been taught all our lives to be kind, to be nice, to say yes to everyone who asks something of us. But what if I told you that sometimes the kindest thing you can do is to say no? What if I told you that your unlimited kindness might actually be hurting both you and the people around you? Today, we're going to explore a truth that goes against everything our culture tells us. We're going to discover why stopping your indiscriminate kindness might be the most loving thing you can do. So settle in, because this message might just change how you see relationships, boundaries, and what it truly means to care for others. Let me start with a story that might sound familiar. There's a woman in every community who never says no. She volunteers for every committee, says yes to every request. People call her the sweetest person they know. But behind closed doors, she's exhausted, resentful, and her own family barely sees her. Her unlimited kindness has become a prison, and ironically, it's not helping anyone become better people. You see, when we're kind to everyone without discrimination, without boundaries, without wisdom, we're not actually being loving. We're being enablers. We're teaching people that they don't need to be responsible, that someone will always clean up their messes, that they don't need to grow or change. True kindness requires discernment. It requires the wisdom to know when to help and when to step back. It requires the courage to let people face the consequences of their choices. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do for someone is to let them struggle, to let them learn, to let them grow. Think about a parent who gives their child everything they want. Is that kindness? On the surface, it might seem loving. But that child grows up unprepared for the real world, unable to handle disappointment, lacking resilience and character. The parent's unlimited kindness has actually handicapped their child. The same principle applies to all our relationships. When we constantly rescue people from their poor decisions, when we always make excuses for their behavior, when we enable their weaknesses instead of encouraging their strengths, we're not being kind, we're being harmful. Now, I'm not suggesting we become cold or uncaring. I'm not saying we should never help others or show compassion. What I'm saying is that our kindness must be intentional, purposeful, and sometimes tough. Real love sometimes has to say hard things. Real love sometimes has to set boundaries. Real love sometimes has to say no. Consider the people in your life who take advantage of your kindness. You know who they are. They're the ones who always have a crisis, always need something, always have an excuse. They've learned that you'll always be there to fix things, so they never learn to fix things themselves. Your kindness has become their crutch, and it's not helping them walk on their own. Here's what I want you to understand. You cannot save everyone. You cannot fix everyone. You cannot be responsible for everyone's happiness, success, or well-being. When you try to be everything to everyone, you end up being nothing to yourself and nothing meaningful to anyone else. Boundaries are not walls designed to keep people out. Boundaries are gates with you as the gatekeeper, deciding what gets in and what stays out. They're about protecting your time, your energy, your emotional health, and your ability to be truly helpful to those who genuinely need and deserve your help. When you stop being kind to everyone, you start being genuinely helpful to someone. When you stop spreading yourself thin trying to please everyone, you can pour yourself deeply into the relationships and causes that truly matter. When you stop enabling weakness, you start encouraging strength. This doesn't mean becoming harsh or judgmental. It means becoming wise and strategic with your compassion. It means learning to distinguish between someone who's going through a temporary hardship and someone who's chosen a lifestyle of dependency. It means recognizing the difference between helping someone get back on their feet and carrying someone who refuses to walk. The people who truly love you will respect your boundaries. They'll understand when you say no. They won't guilt you or manipulate you or make you feel bad for taking care of yourself. The people who get angry when you set boundaries are usually the people who were benefiting from your lack of them. Here's the beautiful thing that happens when you stop being kind to everyone. You discover who your real friends are. You discover who genuinely cares about you versus who just cares about what you can do for them. You create space for authentic relationships built on mutual respect rather than one-sided giving. Your time is limited. Your energy is finite. Your emotional capacity has boundaries. When you give these precious resources to everyone who asks, you're stealing from the people who matter most, including yourself. You're robbing your family of a present parent or spouse. You're robbing your true friends of an available companion. You're robbing yourself of the rest and renewal you need to be your best. So here's my challenge to you today: stop being kind to everyone. Start being intentionally loving to the right people at the right times in the right ways. Learn to say no without guilt. Learn to set boundaries without apology. Learn to let people face their own consequences without rushing to rescue them. This isn't about becoming selfish or uncaring. This is about becoming wise and effective in your love. This is about quality over quantity in your relationships. This is about depth over breadth in your impact. Remember, you teach people how to treat you by what you accept from them. When you accept disrespect, irresponsibility, and taking advantage, you're teaching them that these behaviors are okay with you. When you set boundaries and stick to them, you're teaching them to respect both you and themselves. The world doesn't need more people who are nice to everyone. The world needs more people who are courageously kind to those who deserve it and wisely firm with those who don't. Be that person. Your future self will thank you, your real relationships will flourish, and you'll discover what it truly means to make a difference in this world. Thank you for listening, and remember, sometimes the kindest thing you can do is to stop being kind to everyone.